I saw some talk yesterday where everybody's like, well, you know, Dustin should be the champion. Well, Dustin just got smoked by Khabib. Conor got smoked by Khabib. Gaethe got smoked by Khabib. I mean, there's no guy that you look at right now and say, oh, you know, this guy, they're going to have to fight it out. You have 1 through 7, fight this thing out, and we'll find out who the champ is. And it's the best way. Then nobody can deny. Khabib steps away. Nobody can deny who the best guy in the world is. Who's the best in that division right now, because they will have all fought.
How will the lightweight division play out in 2021? As we know, Khabib is the king, and no one at lightweight seems to pose a threat to dethroning him anytime soon. Now, fighting GSP would make for a historic event. However, at what weight would the fight happen? Fighting at 155 pounds would allow Khabib to defend his title and get his 30th win in the lightweight division. It would also allow GSP the opportunity to become a 3-division champion. However, it might not make for the most competitive fight, as cutting down to 155 pounds might just be too difficult for GSP, so probably fighting at 160 or 165 pounds would be ideal for both Khabib and GSP. Anyway, let's assume that Khabib vacates his title. So what's next? Nate Diaz should probably fight Tony Ferguson. Obviously, Nate either can't or doesn't want to cut to 155 pounds. Tony is a very big dude. Seemingly, he has been putting his body through hell to make 155 pounds. He does have experience at 170, and therefore he should probably consider fighting Nate at 170 pounds. Tony seems to believe that he still is a contender for the lightweight championship belt, but he may want to let those aspirations go for the time being and just seek out a very lucrative fight with Nate Diaz. Plus the extra 15 pounds that welterweight would allow him may do wonders for his career. Just look at what jumping up in weight did for the careers of Gilbert Burns and Anthony Johnson. Tony against Nate would be a very exciting fight, as both fighters apply relentless pressure, have big frames, and are almost always involved in very exciting fights.
I like Tony Ferguson. He's been around a long time, like I have too, but time is not right. Right now is not the time for him.
Okay.
Yeah, he just lost to Oliveira. That's who I'd like to fight. Yeah, I think Oliveira is the best fight right now. And Dustin Poirier. Yeah, that's the guy right there. I'll fight that guy. That's who I'll fight. I like guys. I like the winners. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a winner. I ain't been lost to nobody. You know. I got the few guys that I lost that they would say finish me out. First of all, I never got finished off like everybody else. Like KO, knocked on the ass, sleeping, unconscious, choked out. None of that's happened to me. You know, so I'm like, I'm trying to fight the guys who are winning. I like Oliveira fight or Dustin Poirier fight, bro. I never lost a fight like all these guys. The whole lightweight division been taken out. All, you know what I'm saying? Every single one of them.
Now, for the other top contenders at lightweight, we have Poirier, Oliveira, Chandler, McGregor, and RDA. Probably the fairest fights to make should be Poirier versus Oliveira for the championship belt, Gaethje versus Chandler, and McGregor versus RDA. However, there are far too many moving parts, and as Eddie Alvarez says,
I think Conor would have wanted the belt for this fight to be on the line. He likes He likes the idea of the belts. So I think he wanted the belt, and typically he gets what he wants as long as there's an availability. Dana can't say no to him.
He's completely obsessed with the rematch now, and wants to fight back. Listen, when you have two guys, Dustin, who's the number one guy in the world, and a guy like Conor, and they both want it that badly, you do it. You do it.
So the next question, of course, is, will it be for a title? And, you just mentioned the guys 1 through 7. It'll be fun to have them fight to see who wins the title. So that fight will not be fun.
These guys are all going to fight it out, and we'll narrow it down to the two guys that will face off for the title. They both want it. So when you got two guys, that want the trilogy as bad as those two do, try to make it happen. That'll happen this summer. And what's fun for us, being the fans, if you look at the number 1 ranked guy in the world, Dustin Poirier, all the way down to number 7, who I think is Rafael Dos Anjos, the fights that can be made to find out who becomes the next champion are unbelievable. So we're in for some incredible fights to find out which two of these guys from 1 to 7 will square off to become the next world champion.
So as we have seen in the past, Conor, for the most part, can pick and choose his opponents. Plus, Conor may want to choose wisely. After his last performance, does he really want to jump back into the cage quickly? Regardless of what he says, he took a pounding to his head, not just to his leg, in his most recent fight against Poirier. So he may want to let himself heal up, let his head heal up, or at least try to fight a light touch, or maybe even an aging Diego Sanchez. Regardless if Dana would lose his promoter's license or not, maybe Diego Sanchez would be a good fight to get Conor back on track, or, as was previously mentioned, RDA would make a very fun and fan-friendly fight. The active top 5 at lightweight seem to feel that Chandler has not paid his dues. However, Gaethe has been complimentary of his most recent knockout win against Dan Hooker. However, we should all realize that Chandler has been putting his neck on the line for over a decade in unarmed hand-to-hand combat competition. He has even stopped the former UFC champion Eddie Alvarez. Plus, he now has to be seen as a legitimate UFC threat as he holds the number 4 position in the lightweight rankings. So Poirier should probably consider fighting either Chandler or Oliveira. But you can't blame Poirier if he wanted to seek out the money fight against McGregor or Diaz. If Poirier were to fight McGregor, his confidence would probably be at an all-time high. In their most recent fight, Poirier took some solid shots from McGregor, and they didn't appear to have much of an effect on him. From watching Conor's most recent fights, it doesn't seem like he has the stopping power that he once had at featherweight. Now, as for the Diaz fight, as was previously mentioned, Diaz doesn't seem too eager to drop to 155 or to make the 155 or 156 weight limit. So Dustin could take a break from cutting weight and just go after the lucrative fight against Nate Diaz, which would leave Gaethje versus Oliveira, which would make a fantastic fight. So you have to give the UFC credit for not rushing to strip Khabib of his title or of creating an interim lightweight belt. The fighters have to make the right decisions and be very strategic with their next moves. For example, Poirier could fight Diaz for a lucrative fight, but I don't think the UFC would allow them to fight for the title. So Dustin, if he chose to go that route, may actually forfeit his chance at fighting his next fight for the belt. Although Conor and Dana have a very good relationship, I'm not sure if Conor would be able to fight for the belt, but one never knows. So the UFC has put these guys in a position to where they have to actually fight and cannot just strategically sit on the sidelines waiting for the opportunity to fight for the belt. Granted, Poirier has probably earned that right, but with the addition of Chandler and his willingness to fight anyone, the UFC might just grant him the opportunity to fight for a title if everything were to line up correctly. Anyways, how do you guys think 2021 will play out? And who will be the lightweight champion by the end of the year? Thank you very much. Take care and have a great day.